quite regularly as people who follow politics, and that is taking a look at where, well, I guess looking at where folks tell us the vote stands, or where public opinion stands on this issue of which candidate is going to win the election. Polling. I want to talk about that, and I want to go to something that I saw. I think I saw this either over the weekend, maybe even on Friday. This was in the Epoch Times. The Epoch Times headline is this: "We're not ahead by double digits. Biden campaign manager reportedly admits polls inflated." Now, you and I assume this. In fact, I don't really even follow the polls that close. As we get closer, I do look. In fact, one of the groups that I look at is a group called the Trafalgar Group. Trafalgar Group is they're a Republican-leaning pollster, but they were the most accurate pollster in both 2016 and 2018, and their methodology is a little bit, I guess, different. They are there's different ways, I guess, that they are able to get people to share their true opinions. In fact, one of the things that this group does is actually asks a question that says something like, who are your neighbors supporting in the 2020 election? And it's interesting to see how much that flips the polls. In fact, I think it was like a 10-point flip in one of these things I was looking at. So where basically what that means is, what people think that means, is that people are more likely to tell you, the theory goes, who they think or who they're voting for by saying, I think my neighbor is supporting Trump. So basically, I think Trump is going to win effectively, but if you ask me if I'm voting for Trump, then I have a little bit more hesitation. There is a percentage of people who think this way. This happened back in 2016, and this is the case today as well, where folks are afraid to tell a pollster who they're going to be voting for. And look, to a certain degree, understandably so. I mean, you look at what happens. I don't know if you saw this poor woman who attended I think it was the D.C. Women's March, which, by the way, I'm waiting for the media to break out into an all-out tizzy over the number of people who were attending the protest in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, violating social distancing requirements and that sort of thing. I don't know if there were enough masks. I don't know if there was anything like that. But anyway, this woman attends the rally, reportedly, and she has a Trump sign, and she's assaulted. She ends up in the hospital needing medical treatment from the side that undoubtedly was probably chanting, love wins or some such thing. But anyway, when we look at these, when we look at the state of things, and people are asked questions in polls, it's certainly understandable why they wouldn't tell a pollster who they're voting for. I'm sure some folks just want to have fun with it as well. I'm sure some folks are happy to have folks not know who they're voting for to mess with these polls, and it's to the point now. And then, of course, you got the issue of oversampling. How difficult is it to get a hold of Trump voters? And we have some polls that are showing in their sampling that they're sampling Democrat voters +8 over Republicans, which would be a monumental. It would be so far from the norm, from what a reasonable person would predict here in 2020, that of course skews these polls as well. And typically you'll find these pollsters, as you get closer to the election, which would be now, begin to correct their polls. But part of me is beginning to wonder. If that will not happen in 2020. And the reason I wonder that is because of all this stuff happening with mail-in ballots. You see, if the polls show Biden as the victor, the polls, not the actual voting booth, but the actual polls that are conducted, if the polls show that Biden is supposed to win this election by 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever points, whatever these stupid polls are showing right now, and Trump comes out to win, then of course the media has at its disposal the go-to story, which is that Russia stole the election again, which is that Trump has interfered with the process of counting and tabulating votes, because we know, right, because of polling, what people really wanted to do when they cast their ballots, but something prevented that from happening. It has to be Trump. It has to be the vote counters. Of course, people, we have 51 elections, right? On election night, or not, whenever the elections start with early voting and absentee voting, you have 51 independently run elections. 50 states plus Washington, D.C. And so these elections are run by their respective states. In fact, that's why I told joking, by the way, if anyone's out there taking this too seriously, I've got someone close to me that's traveling, and they voted. The couple voted or planned to vote before they leave. And they're going to another state, the state's California. And I said, you might be able to vote out there as well. and I said, you might want to look into that. They don't even check your photo ID. In fact, the person you're staying with is probably on that voter list more than once. Just go in there the next day and tell them that you are that person. I'm kidding. It's to illustrate the absurdity of voter ID laws in the state of California. But these polls, you begin to wonder if this is in fact not part of the strategy. If Trump wins again in 2020, will the media not begin to use the polling, the Democrat Party not use the polling to show that somehow President Trump stole votes from Joe Biden or some such thing? But behind closed doors, they say this. Again, this is the article I'm referencing here. We are not ahead by double digits. Biden campaign manager reportedly admits polls are inflated. I want to read a bit of this article to you. The Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's campaign manager reportedly admitted that the national public polling numbers, which show Biden overwhelmingly leading Trump, are inflated. Please take the fact that we are not ahead by double digits, Jen O'Malley Dillon reportedly said during a grassroots summit of the campaign on Friday. Those are inflated national public polling numbers. The video of the live event seems to have been deleted, but her comments were posted on Twitter by New York Times reporter Shane Goldmacher. The Biden campaign and Trump campaign didn't respond to requests for comments. This is not the only circumstance. Dillon cautioned about the leading position of Biden. She reportedly said in a 3-page memo obtained by Fox News that Trump can still win. Oh boy, folks, can still win the November election, and the race is, quote, neck and neck in certain states like Arizona and North Carolina. The reality is that this race is far closer than some of the punditry we're seeing on Twitter and on TV would suggest, Dillon allegedly wrote in the memo. Even the best polling can be wrong, and that variables like turnout mean that in a number of critical swing states we are fundamentally tied. And folks, that is where we really are. This idea. Now, I've been on record as saying, of course, Biden can win. Don't ask me to explain the logic of this. I think the logic stops when you understand it's an emotion. The logical choice for choosing Joe Biden is not something I can articulate to you because it's an emotion. It's a feeling. I guess I can logically explain to you that there's so much hatred and vitriol that's stored up for President Trump that has been built up, that has been fabricated by the media, by the Democrat Party since 2016, that they are counting upon that anger, that rage, that bitterness, that rage, fury, all this stuff, these negative hatred, all these sorts of negative emotions. They have poured fuel on the fire. In fact, they're planning on ratcheting this up even as we enter these last 2 weeks before Election Day. And so they've done everything they can to stir the pot. They've told us it really doesn't matter who the candidate is. This is the Biden campaign in essence. It doesn't matter who Biden is, just as long as he isn't Trump. If you look at people who are voting for Biden, I'm telling you, I'm going to say 7 times out of 10, I want to say 9 times out of 10, but I'll say 7 times out of 10, people tell us why they're voting for Biden, and they'll use the word Trump. You ask the average Trump supporter why they're voting for Trump, and you don't hear that. You might hear them eventually lead into how bad Biden is. You might hear them refer to Joe Biden and his family as the Biden crime family, as Trump did in Nevada, as Trump says over the weekend. And you may hear a Trump supporter do that, but you won't hear that be their lead argument as to why someone should vote for Donald J. Trump. In fact, you'll hear things about how Donald Trump loves this nation, how Donald Trump is doing things that are in an individual American's best interests, how he is trying to return, how he's trying to drain the swamp, how he's trying to increase liberty, decrease government, let people keep more of their hard-earned money instead of watching it go to this basically leaking sieve known as Washington, D.C., and watch their money go to completely worthless and mismanaged projects and budgets and that sort of thing. You'll hear people talk about building the wall. You'll hear people talk about how Trump gives his money, his earnings as president to charity. You'll hear all sorts of things like this. You won't simply hear he's not Biden. You hear that from Biden supporters when they talk about Donald J. Trump. You'll see parades of Trump vehicles driving down the street, almost regardless of where you live. This happens almost universally in this nation now. It's almost ubiquitous, Trump parades. We've seen them from Miami to, you name the city, there's been Trump parades. People putting flags on their trucks, Jeeps, cars, and driving long distances. People sitting out on the sidewalk or on the front porch, cracking open a beer as the Trump parade goes by. And you see the energy, you see the enthusiasm, you feel this. But yet you look at the polls, and you see Biden in the Real Clear Politics average is up 9 points or some such thing. But behind closed doors, you'll hear the Biden campaign, as I just shared with you here in the Epic Times. Jen O'Malley Dillon, she'll say, we're not up double digits. Please take the fact that we are not ahead by double digits. Those are inflated national public polling numbers. That's not reality. In fact, it's remarkable. You see the mismanagement of these polls, these incorrect assumptions, or maybe it's deliberate. Whether it's a deliberate attempt or whether it's an unintentional attempt, it doesn't matter at some point when you're just looking at the numbers. But this can actually come back and bite the Democrats, because some folks may think Biden has this in the bag. Who knows? But behind closed doors, they know this is not the case, and they are telling their supporters this is much, much closer than you realize. You have to understand that this Trump could still win this thing. And to hear that from the campaign manager of Biden, just here a mere 2 weeks from Election Day, after they've invested everything they've got, they are all in, folks. They have put all their chips on black, on the roulette wheel. That thing is spinning. The ball is bouncing around. They are all in. They've put their mortgage. They've put their wife's wedding ring. They've put it all. Everything in the 401k. It's all on black here as they're trying to go with Joe Biden. But the truth is, the odds that they're winning are much closer to those of roulette than they are of what the polls are telling us, or what 538 is telling us in their predictions and in their modeling and so forth. So, got to take a timeout. You're listening here to the Home of Conservative. We'll continue this when we get back. Listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Welcome back. So I want to do something, and I know this may be a little bit challenging over the radio. But you know that the president is elected according to electoral votes. In fact, I watched a pretty good little documentary, I guess you would call it, on the Electoral College over the weekend. That was really, really well done. The importance of the Electoral College, why it is, why it matters, why it is the way that it is, that sort of thing. And there's a lot of great reasons, even some reasons may shock you, even reasons I hadn't considered before. But there's a lot of good reasons. I'm kidding, folks, but there's a lot of good reasons to be in favor of the Electoral College. But you may have seen, so you know that in order to win the Electoral College, you have to get to 270 electoral votes. You may also know that it's possible. It is mathematically possible, and in fact, it's more possible in this election than what it's been in years past. But it is mathematically possible for there to be a 269 tie. And that's where you hear all this discussion of then what happens. Well, it goes to the House of Representatives, and I can hear Republicans in this audience gasp when they realize that the Democrats have control of the House. But that's not exactly 100% correct in how this would be, the race would be determined. So it's based upon, instead of, majority, whether there's a majority Democrats or Republicans in the House, it actually goes to the state caucuses. So in other words, put another way, California's 53 members of the House would get one vote. And so they're almost all Democrats. Not all of them, but almost all. And so, but California would have one vote for Joe Biden. And when you look at which Republican or which party has more states right now, there are some that are tied, which is an interesting thing to think about. But I think it's 26 states have Republican majorities as of right now. But where this gets complicated is that this could end up going I think it actually does go to the next Congress if in fact this does not get resolved on election night or in the days, weeks, heaven forbid, months after that. And this does go to Congress, which I'm not predicting. I'm just explaining to you that it's not simply who has, it's not a vote where every member gets a vote. It's every state gets a vote. And those states, their votes are tallied based upon the makeup of their state caucus, those members from their state who are members of the House of Representatives. That state gets one vote. And so as it stands today, Trump would still win if everything moves through the House in time. Now, if it doesn't for some reason, if they can't get a majority, the 26 states to say pick Biden or Trump, then you get into this crazy nonsense where you have to replace the president on January 20th, that there's no clear replacement. Nancy Pelosi, you hear talk about Pelosi being president, interim president. That's where this kind of crazy stuff comes into play. I'm not predicting it. I'm just sharing this with you. But I want to draw your attention to something. First and foremost, you'll see if you follow these Electoral College maps that a lot of these outfits, folks that basically, you can go to these interactive maps on the internet and you can look and they'll start your map. They'll start your map with what they think is kind of the floor. And Biden's electoral map starts at 290. Now, before you panic about that, don't be tempted to scream at the universe as these radical leftists do. But before you panic about that, I should remind you that I think that Hillary started off at like 318 or some such thing back in 2016. And that clearly wasn't the case. She was nowhere near that. In fact, it was almost the inverse of that, where Trump ended up with almost that many. Anyway, but if you look at these states, and if you actually look at the Trafalgar Group, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more detail in the next segment, the Trafalgar Group, who's been accurate, the most accurate polling firm in the past 2 elections, their polling shows us something much more A, reasonable, and B, well, maybe I should say B, reasonable, and A, appealing, where Trump is actually ahead in places like Florida, where Trump is actually ahead in places like Arizona, and where Trump may actually yet again, according to their polling, eke out a victory in Michigan. And if you give Michigan and Arizona and Florida to Trump, suddenly this map, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, it would show 274 or 275 electoral votes for Trump, which is enough. But again, when you go to these places where you can, pick your own, you can put your own little electoral college estimate together. The starting point at the one I'm looking at, and I've seen others like this as well, it's got Biden at 290 electoral votes, but it has Biden winning Michigan, it has Biden winning Wisconsin, it has Biden winning Minnesota, it has Biden winning Pennsylvania, it has Biden winning Nebraska's 2nd district, it has Biden winning Arizona, and then in toss-up states, it has Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, and Iowa, which I would contend at this particular point in time, looking at the polls, from the Trafalgar Group, I would say that, Florida's always tricky, but I think Trump's up 2.5 points or some such thing in the Florida poll. In the Arizona poll, I think Trump is up 4 points in Trafalgar. So if you start picking these states and factor in, even as Biden campaign, the campaign has admitted that these national polls are, the polling is skewed. They're not up as much as these polls seem to suggest. So, that being the case, Oz is telling me it's time to take a timeout, and it is. It is. But we've been here before. We've been here before in 2016, and I would even contend that we're in better shape in 2020 than we were in 2016. I don't, by the way, buy into this isn't a horse race sort of thing. This isn't we're making the final turn and heading down the back straightaway here. This is people have known who they're voting for. I think some of these research firms have just gotten it wrong. I think some of them have deliberately gotten it wrong. And I think when the dust settles, and I'm not predicting a Trump victory, though that is absolutely possible. That's absolutely possible. And I would even say it's, it may be slightly more than just average in the possibility of that being the case. The whole thing is going to, the whole poll, the whole numbers we're looking at is definitely skewed to the left. And if I'm wrong, and I can be, because again, people vote for presidents based upon the quality of their jump shot and how many people they make pass out at rallies and events, which fortunately Biden can't do either one of those things. But this whole thing is skewed to the left. I think once the votes are counted, there's going to be a much different feel as to what this map looks like. And then they're going to start, I'm telling you, they're going to start telling us how Trump has tried to disenfranchise voters. Republicans have tried to keep votes from counting. There's a whole bunch of stories on that as well. This mail-in mass vote by mail in some of these states is disastrous. It's totally disastrous. But I got to take a break. You're listening to Conservative, Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Our partner, Global Plasma Solutions, has published ionization testing results that demonstrate a 99.4% reduction rate on a SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 surface strain within 30 minutes. This is the first instance that an air purification company has effectively neutralized SARS-CoV-2. Commercial Service Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is installing this solution in businesses and homes in South Central Indiana. Get your free information kit at commercialservice.com/info. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indy Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indy Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Welcome back. Oz just showed me a image I can't get out of my head. Chris Wallace, a picture of Chris Wallace, his face with Savannah Guthrie's head. The things you find on social media. But look, I want to talk. This Thursday is debate number 2. It was supposed to be debate number 3, of course, but we didn't have debate number 2 because of COVID, even though Trump tested negative for COVID. Trump is fine. Trump is healthier than ever, up on stage, dancing and everything else as we move, ever so closer to the election day. Let's talk about this debate, though. This debate is going to be moderated by NBC News reporter Kristen Walker. Kristen Walker. Now, Kristen Walker, as we know, first of all, when you know someone works at NBC News, you have to assume immediately the odds they are voting for Biden or Hillary or anyone who's a Democrat, the odds are probably 90%, 95% that he or she is going to vote for the Democratic candidate. There's no other way about it. And so you know that from the beginning, but it's even worse than that. She has deleted a Twitter account, and folks have taken screenshots from the Twitter account before it was taken down. So these things, actually, I think these things still come up if you Google search some of them. But she has posted, some very they're anti-Trump tweets. They're clearly anti-Trump tweets. Now, look, journalism, as it's been said, is largely dead. Journalism, the true field of journalism, there are a couple of people out there that actually know what it is. But once you account for them, and you can probably account for them on one or two hands, then you're left with this reality that most of what's left are nothing more than political activists. There are nothing more than activists in the media trying to persuade you. They're not there to try to give you information. They're not there to try to share with you what's going on. They're not there to provide both sides of the story. No. Do not be confused about this at all. They are there to persuade you. They are there to generate a certain outcome. And that is what they seek to do each and every day. Kristen Walker, put her in that crowd. She's deleted her Twitter, but it doesn't matter because people can still see these tweets. And I'm going to find some of them during this next break and read those to you. I got them pulled up here somewhere. I've just got too big of, I got too many things here that I wanted to get to. But you look at her Twitter and you look at what she's done in the past. She actually told back in 2016, she told Jen Palmieri, who was Hillary Clinton's campaign director, she told her the question she was going to ask her before she asked it. Now, it may not be uncommon in the media to say, hey, I want to talk with you about this. But it's not necessarily the way that I think most people would envision it working. If you told them, hey, a journalist said, I'm going to ask you this question, and this question. If that's the case, someone would say, what is this, a Democrat debate? Or is it a presidential debate where someone feeds the candidate that they want to see perform better? They want to feed them the questions prior to the debate, which happened, of course, back in 2016. Bernie voters out there today, if you remember, which I know you do, they stole this. They had a plan to steal it. Look, Hillary eventually cinched the thing up because of the superdelegates, which again were put in place so that they could correct the votes of anyone who wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders. But nonetheless, the plan was put in place to make sure Bernie didn't win this back in 2016 and candidly earlier this year as well. And so now they've stopped Bernie twice. And one of the things they did was feed debate questions to Hillary Clinton. They don't even deny this. Bernie didn't get them, but Hillary did. That's within their own party. What do you think when you factor in the entire scope of what we're dealing with here, which is social media, who is not wanting you to know the truth, Google not wanting you to know the truth. If you don't believe me on that, Google something that's damning to Democrats, Google it, and then go to DuckDuckGo and search. And tell me what the differences are. Do this yourself. I encourage you to do this. DuckDuckGo is a competitive search engine to Google. Do it sometime. Compare and contrast the things that you've discovered. So you've got a dishonest media, a corrupt Democrat Party, an incredibly, corrupt candidate right now. We're not even allowed to ask the questions or get any answers. I haven't heard the name Tara Reid mentioned lately. But you factor in Burisma, Tara Reid, 47 years in Washington, D.C., building massive amounts of wealth while being, quote unquote, a public servant, using one's office to potentially, allegedly, make sure your family gets opportunities and is enriched. These are the allegations. These are possible. We don't know all the details because they don't want us to know. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Right? They're hiding the guy. Teleprompters at events. Oz mentioned that during the break. The guys at these rallies, people sitting in their cars. There's like 18 cars and a teleprompter the size of a outdoor movie theater, a drive-in movie theater screen for Joe Biden to read the very uninspiring words. And now we've got a debate moderator who who is 100% on the side of Joe Biden. That's coming out we'll see that debate this Thursday. And the rumor is that Trump is going to, quote, give Biden space to talk this time, which may be the best thing possible, or the worst thing possible for Biden, the best thing possible for Trump. So I want to share some of these tweets that she has deleted from her Twitter account. When we get back, quick timeout is in order. Sit tight, be back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Are you one of the growing number of Hoosiers who are concerned about higher taxes, increased spending, and massive debt? So am I. I'm Donald Rainwater, the Libertarian candidate for governor of the state of Indiana. I believe that all Hoosier businesses provide the necessities of life to their owners and employees, and that all Hoosiers are essential. As your governor, I will safeguard your rights to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness as defined by you, not the government. To learn more, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. We need better government.
The sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating! Plumbing!
And electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick! Call Mr. Quick! Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
If you filed for a 6-month extension on your taxes this year, October 15th is a crucial deadline. Many of the millions of individuals who filed for an extension have still yet to file before the October deadline. If you need help, call Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group, 317-288-5260. It's important to file your taxes before the deadline in order to avoid penalties. Even if you can't pay, or even if it's been a few years since you filed, you have to file that return this year. If you're facing a tough tax situation, Jody and the team at Midwest Tax Group can help you through it by filing any back taxes owed or even setting up a payment arrangement with the IRS. You need a professional you can trust with years of experience to help you avoid any tax pitfalls and make sure you get every deduction you deserve. And as Jody's client, you can consult with him year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260 or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Welcome back. I should tell you that Kristen Walker's Twitter account has been reactivated. But I don't know if all the tweets have been reactivated. Some of these tweets, I mean, look, she is clearly, there's pictures of her and her father with the Obamas at the White House. Again, look, you can't. Being a journalist doesn't mean that you don't get a vote, right? Doesn't mean that you lose your ability to, give to candidates. But it is relevant, isn't it? Is it not? Is it not relevant to know who these folks are supporting? And her family, and of course, her and her family may not have the same beliefs. I laugh because she does. She was a registered Democrat in 2012. Now it's unknown what she is, how she's registered. But the point is that we have a situation where it's setting up to have. I mean, there are anti-Trump. I don't have time to get to these, as Oz has just shared with me the time that we're up against here. But there are some things that should at least cause us to raise our eyebrows about Kristen Welker. I'll try to post some of these on our Facebook page today. Some of these tweets that at least seem to be relevant to the discussion, right? I mean, it should be. If she's out there tweeting things as a journalist, again, if these folks would just understand that as journalists, their job is to report information, not to make judgments on what they're talking about, they would be a lot better off, but they just refuse to do it. So, got to take a break. Come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
All right, welcome back, folks. Here we are just a couple of days away from the second was supposed to be third debate, and we're still talking about the moderators. I mean, look, it shouldn't be the case where the moderators are the focus of the debate. Now, I think Trump, of course, is outwitting the media again here by going after Kristen Walker, talking about how much she's an anti-Trumper, how biased she is, how she's been a registered Democrat, her family donating money to Democrats, and all this sort of stuff. He's putting all this attention on the debates, which is going to make more people want to watch this thing. And if what is being reported about Trump's, I guess, the way that Trump is going to handle himself here in this second debate, if those things are true, we're going to see Biden get more time to talk uninterrupted. And that is not, I mean, look, they've deliberately hidden their candidate. They've hidden their candidate for a long time. And so it's not, I think, a good thing for the average voter to hear Joe Biden talk, especially that late in the evening, especially given some of the things that we've heard him say on camera. Well, we don't really hear them because the media, again, kind of hides that from us. But it's not good, folks. It isn't good at all. So Trump is, of course, drawing attention to this. So we'll see how this pans out on Thursday. Trump is a master at drawing attention to things, and it's an important debate. And more importantly, we've got an important election, which is underway. I've got to go. Thanks for listening. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Hi. I'm Daniel Elliott, chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. We need your vote down the ballot for conservatives like Indiana Senator Rod Bray from District 37 and Morgan County Coroner Mike Ellis. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor. So don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect.